What's the meaning of life?
This is a question that everybody has made to themselves, but everyone has a different definition of the meaning of life. But truly, I don't believe we are going to have that answer in life after death. But what I believe is that our purpose is to find ourselves. Because if we read the Bible, it's only a book that helps humans to find themselves. All of you may think that I'm wrong, and that the Bible is only a devotion to God and our purpose is only to serve Him. And that's okay because I also believe we need to serve Him and be grateful with Him. But that is not my meaning of life. And you may be asking what I'm referring with finding yourself. Well, for me, finding yourself is being happy, being in harmony with the world, and have a positive mind and being grateful.
Does absolute truth exist?
I believe that absolute truth does exist because it's not like our life was relative. We are breathing and walking. This for me cannot be relative because if life was relative, what would it be? It's like when they judge somebody for murder. There is only one truth, and it is if he committed the murder or not. Like the murder was relative because the person is dead, and why will be die if life was relative? It wouldn't make any sense for me. Will be something that has no explanation, and that is why absolute truth exists because we need to have answers. Maybe it's about finding the absolute truth in every soul, because what will be life without absolute truth? We will be souls that are only in a simulator. That is how I will perceive it.
What's the role of ethics and morals in?
The role of ethics and moral in this world I see it as a motor of human behavior because we'll be without them. They help us judge if our behavior can be justified. The ethics show us how we are supposed to live a cruel life. The moral is a set of rules to help us to know what is right or wrong depending on the society you belong. And with this too, we learn principles, values, and tradition, giving us the idea of an utopia, a perfect society. Even though this means no place because there is no such a thing as a ideal place in this world, it helps us as a community to reach this fantasy. And by wanting such a place where everybody's happy and not afraid, where violence doesn't exist, and where all the person to create ethics and moral actions, it helps us to be more moral and ethical right.
What philosophical vision do you identify with the most?
I identify myself more with the vision of René Descartes, since his philosophy is based on the doubt. He says that to confirm existence of things you must first doubt them, and the only thing you cannot doubt is the existence because to doubt you must first exist. And by this method is how he said that God exists because you cannot doubt something that doesn't exist. And this last idea I found it fascinating because I think everyone at some point in our life has doubt of the existence of God because He is the absolute perfection according to religion. But He is perfect. How do we know if He exists? Because it is assumed that in this universe the absolute perfection does not exist. But by the Cartesian method, I can surely say that He exists because how we doubt if He did not exist.
What's the most valuable knowledge that you get from this class after the whole semester?
This class left me with a lot of new knowledge that I had never learned before in any other class because at the beginning I thought the class was going to be a little bit boring, so I said I was not a philosophy lover. But as the class went on, I realized how interesting all of these concepts were. It was as learning history at the same time because we see how people from the past were trying to explain to the world such a simple question and how some of them had come think the same way as me. But also, I feel that our professor made the class much more interesting than it is because he knew the subject well and put the passion he has toward philosophy, making us think our point of view in these subjects, but also at the same time explaining us his point of view.